So you and I spoke, and we sat down over, it seems like a long time ago, but it was actually just months ago when it was a snowy night.
Right.
And we had a nice dinner, and we
That's
had some
right.
scotch, and we talked about what was it that we wanted to discuss. And we even said, we said, oh, we should have been recording this entire conversation.
Actually,
So now we are recording.
right.
But
We are missing bourbon, though.
yeah, exactly. Just fizzy
Sparkling water,
yes.
which is good.
So what I thought was most interesting about talking about profession and are we what we do is trying to have that work-life balance, and also what is our purpose beyond our profession. So what is your profession for people who wouldn't know what your profession is?
Well, for people who doesn't know me,
Mm-hmm.
as professional, I am a dentist. I'm trained oral surgeon and plastic surgeon from India, and now I practice general dentistry specific to oral surgery and implantology in Dayton, Ohio.
And how do you find, being an oral surgeon, how do you find balance to do, that's pretty intense, I would think, as far as work time, people are under anesthesia and big problems with people. So do you find it difficult to have a balance with that type of intense profession?
You know, it's a training. You train yourself to be something, and while you're training, you found yourself that this is what I can be. This is my limits. These are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. So during the training, you know what you are good at and what you are not good at. And this is the skill I can improve to be the one and unique. This is the skill, maybe, may not be. So in surgery, especially, so it's amazing that people think oral surgery is dentist, which is true. He's a dentist to begin with. But after doing a general dentistry, their path which goes to oral surgery. Oral surgery, which is known as oral and maxillofacial surgery, means dealing with your jaws, head, and face. It has so many areas where you can specialize even in or within the oral maxillofacial surgery. One of them is oral reconstruction. The other one is implantology. The other one is office-based oral surgery.
And I always think of oral surgery as being more, it can be kind of life-changing, you know, if it's a whole makeover or if it's health problems or, teeth problems, things like that, or even in like accidents and things like that. You always hear like a surgeon had to come in. And it's a little different than basic dentistry as far as like maintenance of teeth type of thing.
That's correct. Which what you're talking about is an hospital-based oral surgery thing, and then it comes the office-based oral surgery, where you're dealing with teeth and jaws in a dental chair. Versus if you choose your way to hospital-based OMS, which is more like a reconstruction, pathology, trauma, and all those stuff. So you choose your.
And you like this.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
So as I said, that I did my training in oral surgery. I did my training in reconstruction, head and neck as well, and I practiced that for a good 10 or 12 years before I come to United States.
I see.
And yes, it's very challenging, it's demanding, and it's exhausting too.
Yes.
You know, and then, somewhere you have to draw a line for yourself. This is what I want to do. I get into implantology straight away after my residency, along with reconstruction. So I love that field too. I like to do orthognathic surgeries. Then when I come to United States, like, okay, this is the one I want to take it to the pinnacle, which is oral implantology. Thankfully, with my surgical skills, I'm good at handling tissues, bones, my 3D orientation in the brain and all the stuff, thanks to my training. So I think why not to use that and take one thing at a time and just make it big. Like, someone said, if you're good at something, make it everything.
I see. Go big.
Yes.
If what
make
you're
it
doing.
Everything. Sleep, drink, sleep. Think but just one thing and keep improving yourself over and over and over again. Then you will reach a point where you can say, okay, I know this. Or maybe, I still know enough.
And so there's I'm sure there's continued training and there's constant things changing. But what's different now in things like dentistry, oral surgery, the big hot topic that everybody talks about, which is interesting that people talk about AI, because AI has been I think just recently people are a little shocked by the influence that AI has in their daily life.
What we see today is a lot of application, but AI has been, or I would say AI had been there in medical science for many years, small or big. Right now, it's more commercialized, it's more presentable, and it's coming out loud. And it's been a great asset, I would say. It's been a co-pilot for many, many years. Those MRIs, CT scans, they had AI in them many years ago as well. Now the application has gone way big. It has surpassed many other softwares where AI can handle those stuff. So even in general, in medicine and dentistry and surgery, AI is actually playing a great role. It helps correct us because human eye can miss stuff. We develop systems to make it easy. We develop protocols not to have things slip out of our fingers. So AI over there help us to keep a control over there. But at the end of the day, it cannot take away the human touch, you know. But to answer your question, AI is an assist. It's a co-pilot. But the surgeon, the doctor, is the main pilot who's flying the plane.
Right. That's a good analogy for it, because what I love about it is the answers are all right there. You can get answers quickly, and even if it's something as simple as, can I write this email better? Can I compose this proposal in a more succinct way? As long as you know that you're letting it work for you.
Now, I'm glad you touched that base, because I've been thinking about this, and I have my friends, my brother who is an AI especially. So we talk about this stuff all the time. So technology helps, but we should not depend on it so much that we cannot go without technology.
Sure.
The day dependence comes in, that is a point where it can take over.
Well, it's like the kid who can't believe you can get somewhere without your phone telling you everything. There used to be a thing called a map, and just more problem solving with everyday life, or getting something out of reading a book or looking it up in some way. So yeah, I think it's interesting. People now, younger people, they've grown up with smartphones and with AI, and just everything's at your fingertips, so they wouldn't know what a phone book would be, type of thing. So
no, AI is a good friend, but we should not forget that we are responsible for generating AI, and we will be responsible for keeping it where it should be.
Yes,
for
controlling
any
it.
technology. Yes, I've heard people, they're making AI their friend. They're asking, like you said, they're asking every question. AI is their best friend, or not to mention certain names, but ChatGPT, they say that's their friend.
Exactly.
It gives them all the answers.
Well, what I find interesting about it, and I saw it was probably a podcast talking about how the issue is that AI won't stop. It will continue to ask you, can I do this next thing? Can I rephrase this? Can I write it? If you'd like, I could give you this treatment or something. So there's no end to it.
AI, as I say, it's a friendly tool if you know where and how much to use it. Like you mentioned, writing in emails, right? If we depend so much, yes, I use AI for correcting my emails, sometimes correcting my documents, my articles or my write-ups. I use AI. I use AI at home. Our robot floor cleaner works on AI, right?
Sure, yeah.
That helps a lot. Our dishwasher, our refrigerators, TV, AI is everywhere to some extent, right?
Yeah.
More or less. As far as my education, my training, and my day-to-day activities, yes, it's everywhere. But as I mentioned, we are responsible for generating it. We are responsible for ourselves to know where to limit it. If we get dependent on writing emails with AI, and use it or lose it, our brain is intertwined. What we are doing, it's an artificial intelligence. We are making it intelligent while making ourselves dumb.
Yes.
If we don't use our brain, reading books is going down these days. Writing emails, yes, it helps, but now leave everything on AI. After 6 months, if you go back, I cannot form sentences. I'm missing my vocabulary.
Yes.
It happens.
Yes.
And there people are talking about some of the, AI, de-addiction centers maybe. The scrolling time, all the AI things, they kind of take away the thinking process from you if you highly depend on that. So yes, I do use AI, and I think all of us, and it's about how much.
You told me an interesting story about your early influences. What made you interested in medicine as a child? What made you think that you would be a doctor?
Wow, that's I think that goes way back to my childhood, right? So I was the first one to be in medicine from my family. I come from a business family, and they all are into real estate. They're all into lands and all those stuff, developers. So I was into it. I grown up among them, right? But the good thing I found out in my family, there was a system where we all, at least once a month or twice a month, has to go and serve somewhere, volunteer somewhere. Maybe it's feeding people, maybe it's going to some elderly homes, going to some orphanages. So it was kind of, we have our turns to do that. So my dad, my uncles, and all, they have been doing that. It's a part of, not a philanthropy, like a part of giving back was the idea.
Was that part of just your family, or
No, it's my-
or culturally do you feel?
It's in the culture, but it's so strong in my family, I would say. It's not that every family does it,
Sure,
but I have seen doing my uncles and my dad doing that. And that gives me an idea why they're doing that. In the beginning, it's just fun, right? You go with them, you play and all the stuff. But when you grow up, you start thinking, why should I waste my weekend on that?
Sure.
And that's how, when you start thinking and you see your elders doing something, there must be something good about it. And then we start talking and getting the answers that giving back is the sole purpose of a human being. That's kind of us idea. Giving back. We absorb a lot. We take a lot since we are born until we die. We just take.
Right. Consumers, we just eat it up. Yes.
Right? But at the end, if we have taken everything and we have not given nothing, it's not balanced out. So the content is missing in our heart. So the more you give, the more content you become. But to give more, you have to attain more. I can only give you $100 if I have $100. If I have no $100, I cannot give you. So in order to give more, I have to earn more. In order to earn more, I have to develop more skills to earn those stuff in a good way so that I can give back. So that's how the cycle of this life runs. And the more you give, the more content you have in your heart, the peace in your heart at the end that, okay, it's a successful. So I feel the purpose, what you're asking for everyone, is to give. We are giving in one way or the other. If you look ourselves, someone is giving less, someone is giving more. Even if they don't want, they're still giving back. It just, some people give it consciously, some people give it unconsciously. But when you make and when you realize, when you understand yourself, when you understand your patterns, that, okay, this is the time I just absorb a lot, this is the time I give some more, how I felt when I take more and give less, then it recalibrates your brain that every daily actions help you attain a level where you feel like, okay, now I'm giving, I'm feeling it, I'm getting it. So that time when I saw my parents and my uncles giving back to society, understand that they're making money and they're giving back, and that's why they're making more. To give more means I want to do the same, right? So I had an option to go into business, but I want to do more. Yes.
But when you were a kid, what did you watch?
I used to watch a series called as ER when I was in high school. It's all about the trauma rush.
Oh, George Clooney. Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that series. I still sometimes go back and watch that. So all those medical series during those days when I was in high school and in my younger days. So that's kind of, intrigued me to know what's happening. I like the rush. I like the adrenaline. I like the instant decision making, right? How much your one decision is influencing someone's life to an extent, life or death. So
Yeah,
I feel
would
it
say.
off.
Yeah, I would argue that medicine and care of I was mentioning my daughters in animal medicine is kind of the ultimate of giving back. People and people in crisis and health in general. That's kind of the pinnacle of giving, I would say.
Exactly right. And you just hit the spot over there, because medicine, dentistry, or any kind of healthcare field gives you an opportunity to give back with your time, with your skill, At the same time, it brings bread on your table.
Hmm.
So it's beautiful.
Yeah. So,
You can,
and I think you put it nicely. It's full circle. You can't give unless you are successful in getting, and so it's an interesting cycle.
it is,
You know,
yes. At the end of the day, you will understand it's all about this,
Mhm.
right? Giving birth to someone as a
Mhm.
woman, someone because somebody gave them the birth. So they've given, they just, life cycle continues like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you sound very motivated. What keeps you motivated? You seem like a very driven, motivated person. How do you stay motivated? What kind of recharges you?
If someone come back to me and thank me and hug me and tell me that what change I have brought to their life in positive sense, that I've touched their life so deeply that now they feel like living again. I think that's kind of gratification, that's kind of dopamine and serotonin.
Yeah, you said it there. It is a dopamine rush.
Dopamine comes with accomplishment.
Mhm.
And when you feel accomplished, you feel powerful. And like that's directly connect to when I was getting into medicine, that how much control and how much power a doctor can have on someone's life that they can change them forever. Is that control, that power is good, and how to attain that? That keep me rolling, rolling and rolling to make myself a better person, get into medicine, dentistry, and all those. And as a clinician, I feel responsible to make myself better, to attain that power, to have that accomplishment, to feel that gratification.
Mhm.
So it's all connected like that.
Mhm.
So if you ask me what's my rush is those smiles on their face and tears in their eyes,
Mm,
like a
nice.
happy tears. So that's my rush. I was like, okay, I've touched that person, mission accomplished.
Nice. Well, on the other end of that, what do you think people or yourself? I mean, what do you think people are wasting their time the most at?
We waste a lot of time in thinking than doing, and you can put it everywhere, I think. If you put across towards my profession, dentistry, you want to do something, you want to have something done, and you are procrastinating it for XYZ reasons and not taking actions to remove those procrastinators. It could be anything, right? And I think that is where we spend most of our time thinking about stuff, not doing something about it.
Worry, yeah, worry is what kind of wrecks your health too, and
Yes,
just
that's correct.
things you can't control, things you
Right.
can't change. Yeah.
As they say in dentistry, it's been said forever that dentistry is not expensive. The delay is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The more you delay, it becomes expensive. It becomes more complicated. It becomes maybe more painful. That's why preventive dentistry or preventive healthcare in general is always better than treatment healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
That's why 6 monthly rechecks, going to your physician, because you know we as humans most of the time in general that pain is a marker of disease. If it's hurting, then it's something wrong, but it is not. Pain is not the marker of disease. Pain only happens when your body has damaged so much that's not trying to, it cannot repair itself. It needs your help.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yes, the help is there, but why not to catch it early? That's why those preventive checkups are important for anyone to see if something is going on, do those investigation. Again, AI helps a lot where the human eyes are missing. For example, I'll tell you, the AI is getting better in fracture detection or KDs or detection. So where human eye can miss, AI can say, oh, there's a fracture or something you missed. Even if it's there or not, but it puts your attention over there. So now you can focus and see whether AI was right or not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
So to answer your question, yes, delay or worrying is something we waste a lot of time on.
Yeah, I think I can relate to that. So many people just spend time fretting about, what to do instead of taking action,
Yeah.
instead of saying, well, maybe I should do this or.
I do have my problems of procrastination. Sometimes I find myself procrastinating, and I hate myself for that.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, no, get up and do that,
Yeah.
So yes, I have my days where I feel like doing nothing, and some days I feel like, okay, let's go. But one thing I would say, I have a routine I try to follow every day, so that my body knows what to be done. If I'm
Ooh, I
not
like that. What kind of routine? Like what's your gotta have routine, like a early riser, good breakfast, exercise, or what's a routine that you
Yes,
like?
that is true. I don't know if it's a lot of cliche that we should wake up early. I wouldn't say I'm a very early riser person, but my day starts not that because we start early. So if you say I'm not like a 4 a.m. person, but maybe
Sure.
maybe 6 a.m. person. But my routine whenever I wake up usually at 6,
Mm.
5 minutes here and there, and there's a routine after that, right? I I take some time for myself to sit down, relax, meditate for 10 minutes, and ease out, plan my mind, organize my mind before I begin my day, recalibrate my brain for the day,
Mm.
for that day, right,
Mm.
day by day. And then I just do what I have decided to do and take care of that. Things changes, it happens, but whatever I try to accomplish. So, eat the frog first.
Mm.
That saying,
Uh-huh.
when I go at my work, okay, these are the things needs my first attention. Three things. What are the three things? Most important things.
I have a friend who told me I got to get three things done in a day. Three things. So
Three most important,
yeah.
right?
I'm kind of big into lists. I like a list,
Yes.
and the reason I like a list in the phone is it's very satisfying to put that check mark
Yes.
next to the list. So that's a little rush, and even if it's simple things, but
Right.
yeah, maybe three things, or maybe my list is too long. Maybe that's
Yes.
where
So what I do, the to-do list is always increasing. It's never decreasing, right?
yeah.
So whenever you see a to-do list, that's what I do as a night routine before I go to bed.
Mm.
I see, oh, these were the tasks I need to accomplish. These I have accomplished. These are remaining. Okay, remaining. I had 15 tasks. I have done 5 today, 3 important and 2 not
Yeah,
that
just a
important.
little carryover list.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then okay, these are the 3 critical things I need to take care of. Just okay, next morning at that night I think about them. That I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Mhm.
Next morning I calibrate my brain. Okay, these are the things I need to take care. So your body's reminding you again and again. Oh, you're missing something. You're missing something.
Mhm.
Do that. Once that's done, you have that feeling of accomplishment and dopamine. You feel good about it.
Mhm.
And then when you follow this routine over and over and over again, I mean, your body comes on a kind of an auto mode. Of course, some
Yes.
days are like, "Ah, now I don't want to do anything.
Yes.
Forget it."
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But majorly, 80% of the times, it helps you. Just like having an autopilot in your car.
Mhm.
You want to take the stick sometimes and
R-
drive sometimes, but
Right.
most of the time,
Yeah.
it's going to tell you, okay, you got to do this.
You mentioned being creative in
Right.
marketing, and AI can give you these suggestions, but
Right.
what's your feeling on marketing with AI?
Marketing is such a beautiful thing. It's actually a creating something
Mhm.
when you're marketing it, right? You have something like a product, a skill, or someone branding, and you need to take it to the masses. That's marketing. How you take it is marketing, right?
Mhm.
So it's very creative field over there. So in order to do that, you need to understand the product, the person, or the skill, and you need to understand where you're taking it to.
Mhm.
So reading those two avenues is very, very important, and how to connect them is marketing. Social media and AI especially, like it asks so many questions. It's asking questions to everyone. For example, we're sitting here next to Cincinnati. You want to sell a product.
Mhm.
You have the fancy pen or something like that. You want to reach out to masses. You cannot just open a shop and be there. The AI helps you to reach those masses who are looking for those products. For example, any company who sells stationery, anyone who are into pens, anyone who is a writer or something like that,
Mhm.
or maybe in gifting shop or something. So AI will connect to the right masses, which earlier there are different paper and pen ways, like pre-market surveys and all those stuff.
Sure.
So AI is helping you and narrowing it down. The work which would have taken 6 months, AI can get it done in 2 days.
Sure.
So it saves time if you use it for your advantage. And then you can be creative enough to link those, how you connect them. So AI can tell you, okay, this is what it is, this is what it is.
Mhm.
How you connect them and you bring your creativity, human creativity is, I think that's what marketing
Mhm.
is all about.
Mhm.
And AI is big time helping
Yeah.
in it.
What do you find when people find you? Are they basing it on proximity? Like
Mhm.
you're close by, or you're the only person who does what you do in your general area. How do you think people find you?
So what I do is a specialized procedure. I wouldn't say I'm the only one who does in the town, but where I'm practicing, I'm the one who is delivering those services to such an updated scale that they have to go far away to find that. So it's not the only me, but in that area, yes, it could be that they can find it easy because it's nearby to them, right?
Mhm.
Which is an all-on-X procedure.
And it has to do too with experience. I'm sure, that's how we've talked about like testimonials and
Yes.
people referring your business. It's about having a positive experience and other people saying, "Well, I need that. I want that. That's in my area." Yeah.
A smiling patient or a smiling person is my biggest advertisement. The word of mouth is still the biggest one.
Sure.
We still live in a close community. Everybody knows everyone, and which is a good thing. We still have that human touch remaining in here. So word of mouth is biggest. I would say if I want to rank it, people still watch television in here, cable and all. So those advertisements on television is also big for me over here. The third thing, radio podcasting is reaching out to the masses. The best way I feel so far, where they can listen to what I'm talking or any person they want to choose is about, right? They want to know them personally and all those stuff. I would rank podcast over there. Then social media, something is non-negotiable now.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Right. If it's helping or not, you need to be there. Right now, people spend a lot of time on social media. The sale happen when the decision is made. The decision is made when the subconscious mind says yes,
Yes.
not the conscious mind. So social media, get to your subconscious mind when you see a person over and over and over again, and I need this, he can do it. I need this, he can do it. So if that's constantly hitting in your brain, then you will say, okay, it's time.
Does this ever happen to you with patients or in your practice where people feel like they've met you or they feel like they know you because they've seen you, they've seen you
Right.
on a clip or they've seen you on television or they've heard your voice on something? Do you get a little bit of that where it's like meeting someone before you meet them?
Yeah, not
So
a little bit, a lot.
Yeah, it's
A lot.
it's like a nice soft introduction.
Yes, and I like that. They say, "Oh, I saw you on television. You were in the ad." And when I do podcasting, I have my YouTube channel and a podcast, and other channels too, education channels and other usual channels.
Do you tell people you're not an actor? You're actually the guy. Yes.
They realize it. Okay, I don't look like an actor. Anyways, but yes,
Yeah.
they realize it when they come to the office. They see, oh, this is the person who they have seen in the advertisement, and when they see me over there talking to them, so it's very relatable and it seems real. The one fear we all have today with the AI, that's what's real and what's not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest fear.
Every time you're talking with somebody, you say, "Do you need help with? Do you want to open a chat?"
Right.
And you're like, "Okay," and it takes you a while before. And then even when you do get a real person, you think, "Is this a real person?" I don't know. They're saying things like a robot would say it.
Yeah. And let me touch base on that. And that's wonderful because in our office, that's our power. Whenever we get any kind of inquiry or people wants to do something, our front desk, we have a dedicated person giving them a call back, not a bot.
That's great.
Like there are a lot of AI, and we've been swarmed with those companies that please put an AI. People are putting in there. But in our office, which is very
so they
niche,
would do an automated check-in
Yes.
type of thing or just a follow-up?
For my office, it's all human involved right now. Like with the front desk, we have dedicated people for different responsibilities, like checking with patients when they ask something. So we have an actual person giving them a call back. And 9 out of 10 times they appreciate it. Oh, I'm talking to a real person. Yes, for real.
They're
It's not
surprised by
AI.
that. Yeah.
They're saying
Isn't
yes.
that sad that people are surprised by that? But
It
it's a
is.
good thing. It's
Yes,
a good thing
it's a
that
good thing
people are
that's-
still doing it.
Yes, yes. And the technology is so much into our business that we kind of sometimes feel insecure, that am I talking to a real person? Is the real information? Is it a scam or not?
Sure.
So when you talk to a person and see the same person, when you come to the office, that's a trust building over there.
Well, I think systems, the way they are now, people can feel that out quickly. They know they're in the system, meaning that as soon as you touch base with a business, very often, you can't get the whatever, the 20% discount until you give them your email and your phone number. So now you're in that system, and they continuously are reaching out and selling and selling and selling, and maybe even following up, and you haven't even used the service yet. So that's when you realize, like, well, I'm just in their loop of, they've got my information kind of thing. So we get so much junk that way that people do appreciate. I know I do, when you get like actual great customer service, when you get personalized one.
In our office at Elevate Dental, that's, I think, I'm very proud of that our system is done so much to an extent that where anybody who walks in, the first thing they realize is the hospitality, the warmth in our office, and everything is laid down in a system. They feel like it's a chain, not disconnected, right? So right from front desk to our assistants, to the clinicians, to the delivery of service, to the follow-ups, and until the end they're taken, and then their long-term follow-ups. So everything is well connected by all of our team. So our team is our strength over there, rather than we use AI to make it better and better. We use AI to make our human services better, I would put it that way, rather than using AI to take down humans from out of it. No.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different kind of perspective,
Yeah. Yeah. I think people can't fear it. You have to embrace.
If we use technology to an extent that we are depending on it, we kind of lose most important thing, which is human touch or human connection. When you listen to someone, when you talk to someone without any technology, any means of technology, you connect. If you put AI in between or any kind of technology, that connection is some way interrupted. And we let technology take over and give us the results, what they feel about it. Though the AI is doing a fabulous job so far, because it's asked a question, it tries to understand better than humans. People will counter that. I get it. But a balance is the key right now.
Yeah. I think creatively, I've used it to, I don't know, just kind of put my thoughts together, and it for me, it kind of sparks a new idea, like I could even do it as far as like interview questions or things like that, and it gives you different ways to word different things. So it kind of reminds me of college days, where you really had to spend a lot more time searching through the textbook and trying to find this note or this reference where.
So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
The way it helps you, it's fantastic. The only time is you should realize, I'm depending heavily on it. Let's step back and take my
Maybe I've told
responsibility.
AI too much.
Right.
It knows too much about me.
So yes, but it's when you use it for your help as a tool rather than a driver, it's fantastic.
It's like today's diary.
Yes.
Do people still write in diaries? Dear diary,
I
don't know how to do anything anymore. I just ask my phone.
Oh, just wait. Let me ask my AI. Let me ask AI to write a diary for myself.
Yes, summarize my day.
Yes, actually. And then I write a diary.
Yes, that's funny. Yeah. And that's kind of a lost art, too, of just writing.
When your emotions are too much to handle, the only way to handle them is to write.
To kind of get it out on paper.
Get it out on the paper. It clears your mind. It empties your mind. And then you have a sense of understanding what's going on of your situation and emotional. Because emotions are temporary. They're never permanent. They are temporary. Emotions are like a flow of water. It will never be the same. You feel it same. It just flows. But you stay there. You stick there. You stay in that emotion for a very long time. It starts hurting you. You let it flow. And you will realize when you understand that the emotions are temporary, but your wisdom is permanent, you will understand your emotions very well. You will feel them. You will enjoy them. You won't feel emotions are weakness. They have always been strength. That's why this Mother Nature has given us emotions, because they are our power.
Excellent. Ooh, I like all that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Now, you mentioned, speaking of emotions, and you mentioned early influences, like as a kid, seeing ER and like a George Clooney.
Right.
But if you were an actor,
Uh,
what kind of actor would you be? Like you're kind of a serious guy. So would you be a serious guy? Would you be a romantic guy? Would you be a action guy? What would you see yourself as being?
all of the above.
All of those. Oh, okay.
Right, as long as it's coming good.
Yeah.
No, actually, we what we are today, we are multifaceted, right? We wear different masks every day
Hmm.
to s- to suit our situation, and we are actually a culmination of so many people we met in our lifetime. And if we are observant enough, and we are, you know, we're sponge enough to absorb all the good things from different people. There's so much in this world roaming around, right? So as I always say, be as observant as 5-year old, and you will never be an old,
Excellent.
right? Look at a 5-year old child. They're so observant, they're so keen, they're so curious. They're getting everything from everywhere. Everything is new for them. If you keep seeing things like that, that's where we fall. We think that we know a lot, but we do not.
Sure.
That's where we lose our inquisitiveness. We lose our power to observe. And when we lose that, that's the time when we feel stagnant. First in our brain, then in our mind, then in our soul, and then in our body.
Oh yeah. How many times have we met people who say, "Well, I've done it all. I know it all."
Oh.
Nothing worse than somebody who knows everything,
Yes.
or knows a little bit about
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
I think too. There's great power in saying and not answering with knowledge about something. There's such great power in saying, I don't know about that. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
And being, like you said, inquisitive and wanting to gain more,
Right.
and giving that power over to another person and saying, well, tell me about that. I don't know that.
So there's a parable of learning curve. When you don't know, like you say, okay, ignorance is a bliss. But if you move away from that and start learning something,
Mhm.
if you know a little, the parable says, okay, you know a lot. But the more you know, you understand that you know nothing,
Mhm.
right? 2 continents, 14 years of experience.
Mhm.
Every single case, I read it thorough. I do it as my case, which I'm doing the first time.
Mhm.
I'm super cautious in doing, I'm super planned. And that's my power of doing any kind of surgery or any procedure. I plan it. So my time goes 90% in planning, then 10% execution flows after it easy. The best compliment I have
Mhm.
got so far from a patient,
Mhm.
they say, my work is like music.
Oh, that's a nice compliment.
Yes.
Yes.
And I still remember that guy.
Yes.
So your work, doc, is like a music. When you work, it feels like it flows.
Mhm.
And that's, I say, and how do you do that? It's like, I think, then I retrospectively thought, oh, yes. And the power is in planning. If you spend, and if you think of all the scenarios can happen and you plan beforehand, if it happens, you don't panic.
Mhm.
You know what to do. If
Right.
this, you know it, right?
Yes.
So think about all the scenarios. That's what experience gives you, not books. It gives you a power to think about all the scenarios and how to manage that. That's what experience is. That's why you talk to your experienced people, your teachers, your mentors. You listen to them, their tips and tricks, whether it's surgery, whether it's life.
Mhm.
It's all books are all about experience, right?
Mhm.
When you read them, okay, this scenario can happen in my life. That's how I can tackle it. You won't panic. And if you don't panic, you have the power to control. I think learning, and then I need to keep learning because scenarios can happen. You are not
So
done
you
with
can
all
always
scenarios.
learn something new?
Always,
Oh, got it.
always. I'll
And
ask you a quick. I ask you a question. What's the end of this life? Death.
Mhm.
There's so much to learn about it. Do you know it all?
Mhm.
We're reaching it there,
Yeah.
but do we know it all? No.
Yes.
So even our end point of life, we don't know about it. So there's always so much to learn. It's like a philosophical way of saying things,
Yes.
but that is exactly true.
It's a great lesson in putting everything in perspective, because it raises a lot of questions, and it makes you think a lot about that person's life, and your own life, and your own mortality, and and yeah, getting to the end it does make you think just more to learn, for sure, more to want to know.
And when you see people going away from you, or you see people, coming to an end, you realize how volatile we are,
Hmm.
right? And if you like anything you do, if you have and in your mind, you'll plan that accordingly.
Hmm.
Follow me here, okay? If you have and that's how even in our surgery or something like that,
Hmm.
I put it that perspective. If I have an end in my mind, this way I want to achieve this, so that's why I plan my roadmap to
Hmm.
achieve that. In life, how many times we miss it?
Hmm.
We don't know. And you and me, that's the purpose, right? We need to know how we want this end to be.
Right.
That's if I know that, then I plan accordingly and do all the things to take myself over there.
Are you talking to about kind of visualizing how the outcome in like a procedure or something
Right.
like that?
Who's the person you look up to?
Mm.
The answer is I look up to myself at 50 years of age. I look up to myself 55 years of age.
Mhm.
That's how I want. If you visualize, okay, when I'm going to be at 50, okay, I would dress like that. I would have a house like that. I will have a family like that. I would have business like that. And that's how I look physically, mentally, and emotionally. That's if you visualize that, you start working on that.
Mhm.
And at 50, you answer, "Oh, did I do enough to get there?
Mhm.
No, it's still remaining. Okay, work on it. Next time, next
Yeah.
landmark."
Kind
So
of holding yourself accountable. Yeah.
you have to, right? You have to.
Yeah.
It's an upstream
Yeah.
because you're trying to achieve and you're trying to get better, make yourself better and better every day.
Mhm.
What's the point?
Mhm.
What's the point, right? As a humans, we have an opportunity to make the best version of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's why we have this opportunity. We can think, we can feel, we can do stuff for a reason so that we can become better. If not, we're going to stay here
Yeah.
and the cycle repeats.
Yes. Well, I'm motivated now. I mean, we've talked a lot about having a purpose beyond profession, and we kind of talked a little bit about profession,
Yeah.
but a lot more about purpose and about
Yes.
doing and about
Yes.
making it happen.
In Japanese terms, it's called as Ikigai.
What is Ikigai?
Yes, you don't know about that. So there's a book called Ikigai, written by an American writer
Okay.
about the Japanese philosophy of happy living for many, many years. So there's a small village in Japan where there are many centennials, and he went in there and found out what's the reason why they're living so happy for so many years.
Mhm.
So there's a book about it, and I love that book. The main crux of that book is find your purpose,
Hmm.
and then there are techniques how to find your purpose. Very simple, and it's all about observing things around you. Plan yourself. You don't need to motivate yourself if you discipline yourself, and the discipline comes if you're strong enough, and in your purpose, in your deeds, and all the stuff. Routine, how important that is.
Mhm.
So that book is called Ikigai, and Ikigai actually means purpose.
Excellent.
And at the end of the day, what we're trying to achieve, I feel, is happiness.
Mhm. Oh yeah, that's the bottom line on most everyone's motivation.
And how would you, I would say, what's the greatest happiness anyone can feel? It's content, peace.
And it kind of comes back to what we talked about at the beginning, which is giving,
Giving.
which is being
Thank you.
generous.
Thank you for
and
reading my mind.
You
Yes.
you brought it all back around.
Yes,
You
thank
brought
you.
it all back
That's
together,
right.
and that is the ultimate. I think
That's the
is-
destination.
Mhm.
The routes are different.
Mhm.
That's it. Our destination for our life is to attain that peace in our heart, mind, and soul, and make the best version of ourselves. How we reach there, how we go there, we all are on different paths. We come across, we drive across, we walk across, we touch each other's life, and then we are on our own path. And I'm a very, very strong believer in that this cosmic world brings people together for a reason. You cannot control who comes to your life. You cannot control who goes away from your life. The only thing you can control and understand why they are there, what they have to offer, what you have to offer.
Mhm.
And that's how everybody is in their own journey, trying to reach out to that peaceful space. And we kind of trying to help each other. Cosmic, they help us in bringing those people. Okay, offer something, go away. Now it's your turn.
Sure. Yeah.
Somebody comes. Somebody gives you happiness. Somebody gives you purpose. Somebody gives you a good thing which stays with you forever, right? So one thing somebody told me when I was going there, and that stays with me forever. That's so small thing. It changes everything. Which says, first deserve, then desire.
Oh. First deserve, then desire.
It changes everything. Somebody said that. He came in my life and said that, and it stays with me forever. It changes everything. If I want to do something, I want to have something, I should be deserving enough in my heart. For example, simple thing, right? I sit in an exam, anybody, a student, and they're desiring, okay, I'm going to ace that exam. In their heart, they know they have worked enough or not to deserve that win. We want the result, we forget our actions, and we have all the control on our action, not on the results. If my heart says I deserve this win, even if I win or lose, I'm a winner. I put every sweat and breath. Every night when I slept, I say I put 100% of myself into this action, to achieve that goal every night. And here comes the exam day. That 3 hour exam is not your judge for what and who you are. Your actions in preparing that exam is going to shape you who you're going to be.
Yeah.
So that changes everything. So in your heart, be a deserver for something, and then you can desire. Whether you get it or not, it's a different story, but it will shape you in something.
Yeah, and having the desire is all about being open to learning experiences and being open to, like we were saying, just being open-minded and letting that knowledge come in and not being closed off to thinking you know it all.
Yeah, that's correct.
Interesting.
So that's why in our journey we meet people, we observe, we gain, be a sponge.
Yeah.
That's why I say, be a sponge and absorb not everything, but be a filtered sponge.
A filtered sponge to a point. Yes.
Yeah, be a filtered sponge.